Hello, 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 and welcome to today's podcast. Thank you so much for joining me on Let's Talk, the Elevated Brand Podcast. My name is Angelia, and I am your host. I am the owner and founder of Angelia Malbrook Photography, where we specialize in providing a luxury portrait experience for every client that steps in front of our camera. Alrighty, so let's break it down. Today, we will be talking about using webinars for lead generation and how you're able to use webinars as a tool to educate and convert your target audience into paying clients. So that's something that everybody needs right now. I was recently scrolling down my feed as I typically do in the morning time to interact and engage with other brands, other businesses, and my groups that I am involved in. And so today I saw a post in one of my groups, and they were asking about, you know, does it make sense to lower your prices right now? Does it make sense to raise your prices right now? And what is your take on that? So for me, I would have to say the last year, last 2 years, a lot of people that I've had conversation with, especially business owners, they have come to the conclusion that business is a little bit rougher than it was during the pandemic. It's coming to the point where a lot of people, you know, if you've been paying attention to the stock market, if you've been paying attention to prices of everything, from fuel to rent to, you know, even going to the grocery store to buy groceries, like everything has gone up astronomically. And I made it a point to leave a comment under that post. And I said, for the past couple of years, or year, I should say, a lot of people have been struggling a little bit. They've been having a hard time paying, for the basic necessities. So when it comes to photography or when it comes to luxury items or what people consider as luxury, not as a necessity, a lot of people are scaling back. So I wanted to just come in and tell you how you're able to kind of, use webinars to re-engage and, educate your people, because a lot of times people just don't know what they don't know. So it's just like, if you have a idea to do something, but you haven't heard the best way to do it, you don't know what you don't know, or you haven't seen anybody else do it. And sometimes you have to be that compass or that guide for that person so that they are able to get to what they really need and eliminate everything that they don't. So the power of webinars, a lot of people have kind of shied away from it, or a lot of people are a little nervous about doing webinars and even podcasts, because people are so self-conscious about themselves and they don't want to put themselves out there, but at the same time they need clients. And so if you don't put yourself out there, how are people going to know who you are? Right? So you have to take things with a grain of salt. You can't let everything bother you, and you can't let everything get to you that's negative, because it's a lot of things that you can see on social media that could be a little bit negative, but you can also take those things and turn them into a positive. You can use those things as building blocks to build whatever your next thing is that you're trying to build that could definitely help someone else. So don't let the naysayers sway you into not stepping out and stepping up for yourself and your business. Um, Educating your clients is important. I know for me, I know I have a luxury business, and I know my prices are not for everyone. And that's why I make it my business to be intentional with the things that I post, the things that I share, the things that I um, allow to be attached to me and my brand. So that's another thing. People have to be mindful of what you're attaching yourself to and your brand. We talked a little bit about it a week ago when we were talking about be mindful of, the songs and the things that you're connecting your brand to, because that stuff lives on social media. So it all goes back to educating your clients, educating your intended audience as to how you can help them, the best ways you can help them, what you can do for them and or their business. Do you have a product that could change their life? Do you have a product that could, help them to speed up their sales process? Or do you have something that could make them look and feel better about themselves? That's why I feel like everybody needs to be doing webinars and using those tools for education. And also you can use them for engagement. So engagement is key right now. And I don't know if you guys have noticed, but the past week, I should say week and a half, I have noticed, and I don't know, let me know in the comments if you guys have noticed it too. I have noticed a significant decrease in my engagement. And when you look at how, and I'm talking about only on Instagram, but when you look at your engagement and how important that is to build your audience, build your brand, that's something that you have to take into account. And I know, again, I talked about this a week ago or the week before, where we talked about analytics and using data and why it's so important to make sure that you're checking your data, you're checking your numbers, because if I was someone that didn't pay attention to that, I wouldn't even know. And so it's not that I'm posting something that people don't like, because I'm a photographer, so everybody loves photos, but it's because everything has changed. A lot of people are shifting their focus over to TikTok. And I know you guys have heard about the thing where that's coming, the bill that's coming that's possibly going to ban TikTok in the United States. And a lot of people are feeling the pain of that, because if you think about it, a lot of people have businesses and they are getting paid by having accounts on TikTok. For one, I have made money from TikTok. Um, I don't use it as heavily. I am over there a little bit more than I used to, but TikTok is the means of livelihood for some people, because some people, that's all they do is use TikTok, and they are getting paid because they've built their audience and they have audience that know, like, and trust them. So yes, they are buying gifts for them. And yes, they are watching their videos and they're watching their lives and they're building up their platforms that way. So that's really important thing to note, that when you're looking at your engagement, make sure you're keeping up with your numbers and seeing what's working, what's not working, and if you may need to shift your business to a different platform. And the next thing, conversion is key. Like that's when the money starts to roll in. When you are able to connect with your clients, you're able to educate them, you're able to keep their engagement, that's going to lead to a conversion if you have your ducks in a row. And when I say ducks in a row, I mean if you have your funnels where you can make sure that you are capturing your audience. Do you have any lead magnets? Are you educating your clients on how you can be of service to them? Are you giving them something of value? So once you have all of your things together, it's easier to make a sale. It's easier to get people to click that purchase now or buy now button on your website or on your page, on your lead magnet. I'm sorry, not lead magnet, but your your lead magnet. So just make sure that you are educating as you need to, you're keeping your engagement up, and you are prepared for the conversion. So it's one thing just say, oh, buy from me, buy from me, buy from me. But are you making it easy for people to buy from you? Are you making it easy for people to spend money with you? Because if you're not, you could be ruining your sales. So just think about that. Go through the process, or have someone you don't even know. Like, this is something I like to do. Just go to like a coffee shop or somewhere where you can sit down and have a conversation with someone, and just have them to go through your website or go through your platform and see how many clicks they have to utilize in order to get to the point where they can spend money with you. Because if it's more than 2 or 3, I guarantee you people are tapping out. And another platform that I use, which helps me to figure out Where people are leaving my website is key to finding out if conversions are down or if I'm having a slow week or month. Because me, you guys know I love data, and I know I talk a lot about data, but I look at my data. I want to see how long are people on average staying on my website. What are they clicking on my website? What are the steps they're taking? Let me see their activity, what they're doing while they're there. And so that's another thing that you guys may want to look into, is finding ways to measure your metrics and getting to the point of why people are leaving, and let's get that nipped in the bud so we don't have to keep dealing with that. Okay. Alrighty. And the next thing, make sure that when you are getting ready to prepare your webinars, that you are bringing your unique perspective. You don't have to go and show up as anybody else. You can show up just as yourself, because guess what? Everybody else is taken. So just be yourself. I know for me, when I first started my journey to sharing more about my life on social media, it was a little daunting because I grew up in the 80s. Yes, the 80s. And we didn't share all of our personal business on social media. So everything that people and the younger creators now are doing, and some of them are older than me, actually, they're sharing a lot of their personal information and their personal lives. And for me, that was always something that I shied away from, because I just didn't do that. Not that there's anything wrong with it for them, but for me, that was just never my thing. I'm very mindful about what I post, where I post, tagging myself in certain things in certain places, because um, life and time brings about a change. So make sure you're being unique and doing what serves you best, and don't feel the need or the urge to show up as anyone else or to do things that are not pleasing or becoming to you, and or God, because I love God and I'm going to live my life to please him. And so a lot of stuff that I've seen on social media is not something that I would necessarily do, because it's just not pleasing. And like I said, these videos, the pictures and things that you put online, it's going to live on beyond our lives. So make sure what you're putting out is pleasing. I have seen social media build people up to the point where they have millions of followers, and it's absolutely amazing. And I've also seen social media, when not used properly, tear people down and make them go and delete all of their social media platforms and get off social media altogether. So just make sure you're being mindful of those things, because sometimes that audience that you're trying to build, if you don't build it the right way, it could also be a complete headache for you. So you don't want that. All right, let's get back to webinars. So the value of webinars in today's digital landscape, it has an increasing importance of building relationships and trust with your target audience, because if you're not building trust and communicating with them properly, and you're not building relationships with them, like, they're going to be like one hitter quitters. Like, they're going to come in, they're going to stick around for a few seconds, and then they're out. So you don't want that. You want people that are going to stick around, they're going to support you, they're going to share your videos and share your lives, and they're sharing, things that help them to grow. That's something that you gave them. So make sure you are building those relationships up in the right way and building the trust factor, because it's a lot of stuff on social media, and it's a lot of people out here that you may not feel comfortable with trusting. So make sure you're one of those trustworthy people that when people go online, they can trust what you say, and they know that you're going to stand on business every time. Next thing, your educational value. What value are you bringing to your clients or your audience or your potential audience? I urge you to go pause this podcast and go look at your social media, and don't look at it as you. Look at it as a consumer. Look at it as somebody that just met you and they just came to your page. Like, are you giving any educational value? Are you directly engaging with people? And I know for me, I know I need to engage with my audience a little bit more. But I try to not get so consumed on social media, if that makes sense. So I know in 2024, I've made a vow to myself that I'm going to be more intentional with my engagement. So I'm also talking to myself as I talk to you guys about this week's podcast. So when I decided on this topic, I was like, yeah, this is something we definitely need to have a conversation about. And this is something that we all need to get into more because direct engagement is important. And it also gives you the opportunity to showcase your expertise. Like, if you look at the platforms we have to use for free right now, and I say free right now because you never know when people are going to start putting a price tag on things. So if you look at things like, okay, this is a platform that I have for free, but there's a possibility that there could be a price tag associated with it one day. You'll see things different. You start doing things different. You'll start posting things that are of more value. So just make sure you're showcasing your expertise, letting the people know that you are the one that they should be doing business with. Alrighty, the anatomy of an effective webinar. So we're going to go through the next few points talking about effective webinars and how important they are and what you're putting out, how important that is to help you to stand out from everybody else. So number one, content is king. Delivering high quality and valuable content that helps to address the needs and challenges of your target audience is going to separate you from everybody else, because a lot of people are just throwing stuff out there right now. So if you have an opportunity to stand out by delivering the best, you're going to be seen as the best. And remember, if you guys do not have updated headshots and updated personal branding for this year, make sure you call me. My number is scrolling across the screen. So if you need to text or call, my information is there. I am a portrait photographer and I also travel. So it does not matter where you're listening to me from. If you need me, I got you. Okay, because I want you guys to show up looking like the very best version of yourselves. Next thing, engagement over presentation. Sometimes you have to make sure that you have engagement, because you can have all the presentations you want, but are people engaging with you and your content? Do you have Q&A sessions? Do you have live polls? Are you using interactive tools? AI has put us in a chokehold right now, and I know you guys know how AI has evolved in the last 6 months. Things have really changed. There are so many ways you can make your accounts interactive and get more engagement, like the live polls and stuff and the Q&A sessions. Those are key. And again, this is something I'll be improving on as well, because like I said, writing out this webinar, a lot of things came to mind for me. So I am educating you as I educate myself this week. And technical excellence, making sure that when you're presenting, make sure everything is on point, from your visuals to your sound quality to your technology. Make sure you're investing in great technology. I'm a techie, so technology is always going to be something that I invest in. But making sure you're doing that, if you're not used to going live or used to doing webinars, make sure you have great quality. Make sure you have the right microphones. Make sure you have great quality images if you're starting a blog, which is a video blog for you guys that don't know what a vlog is. But make sure you have high quality things, tools for your presentation, because it's going to help you in your preparation to make things seamless and smooth. Next thing, using webinars for lead generation. You have to be strategic in your approach with this, because we've talked about identifying your target audience, because you need to make sure who your webinar will be for, and you want to make sure you're tailoring the content to the interests and the needs of those that you want to do business with, not just, the random person or, the random idea of doing a webinar, but make sure you're tailoring your webinars to who you want to talk to. So if your webinars are not tailored to that person, they're not going to know you're talking to them and they might bypass what you're saying and what you're doing. So make sure you're clear and concise with your delivery. Um, you have to promote it, and you can do that by partnerships. You can do that by email marketing. You can do that by social media marketing. There are so many strategies. You can also do Facebook ads. You can do TikTok ads. You can do YouTube. There's so many ways you can promote your audience to your content and your content to your audience. But just make sure you're very strategic before you do all of that work, because as you know, when you do things on social media, they only live a couple of hours and then it's on to the next. So if your engagement is down, don't feel like you fail. Don't feel like you put out horrible content. Things are just changing. The algorithm is changing. But again, if you're partnering up with other people and you're sharing their platform, it's easier for you to reach a wider audience. So just think about that when you guys get ready to do your next webinar or do your next event. Make sure you're doing partnerships, because partnerships are key. But I will preface this by saying, when it comes to partnerships, make sure it is a two-way street. I don't want you guys out there doing all the work while the other person just sits back and reaps the rewards. Okay. Make sure it's a beneficial partnership, because a lot of times you can try to do partnerships with people and they don't take it as serious as you. So make sure you have somebody that's just as invested in you growing as they are themselves. Um, okay. And also make sure that if you have not already started doing email marketing, email is not dead. First of all, let me just start there. People are still using email to market. Make sure you're nurturing your leads. Don't just show up in their inbox on Friday when you think they've gotten paid. Like, nurture your people, talk to them, like ask them, is my content still valid for you? Is there something else I can provide for you? So those are things that you would like to, that you probably will want to start including in your nurture sequence and in your um, emails to your clients, to those people that have signed up for your email list. And if you don't have an email list, go ahead and sign up for an email list today. For me, I have one company that I love oh so much, and I'll be putting my link at the bottom of this thing. So if you want to go ahead and sign up, you'll get 50% off of your first year for signing up with my email company. And also, when you think about educating clients, be strategic, be mindful, and make sure your approach is dynamic, because in order to stand out, you have to stand up. And when you stand up, you're able to differentiate yourself from all the noise. So, my goal is to educate, connect, and deliver with women over 35. That is my target audience. I love helping women in business, professionals, content creators, those that need personal branding photography. Shoot, everybody needs personal branding. I don't care if you are in business, if you are a entrepreneur, as Mark Cuban says, or you're an entrepreneur, or you're a business owner, or you're a professional, you need personal branding. We have got to get to the point where we stop using bathroom selfies and car selfies as our profile picture. That's not professional. You guys are running businesses that have the capacity and the ability to be something so much greater than you have ever anticipated. But you can't do that if you are hiding behind logos, or you're hiding behind an old picture that you took 10, 15 years ago. You honestly should have updated personal branding every 6 months, because if you have the right photographer, they are going to properly educate you on making sure that you keep your brand fresh and you keep your brand vibrant. Because using the same stuff over and over, like, people get tired of seeing it, just like you get tired of posting it. I know you do. because I went a few months ago and I had personal branding photos done. Yes, I go to other photographers sometimes. Yes, I support my people. Yes, I support, my other photographer friends because I would want people to come and support me as well. So I'm gonna go and support. Um, but it's time for me to get new photos. Absolutely. And yes, I have the best gear. Yes, I can photograph myself, but I choose to support other small business owners. And I urge you and encourage you to do the same. Um, for me and my business, I have a very structured approach to not only the content, but the interactive elements that I have planned for this year to engage more people in my audience and making sure that I'm talking to the right people, they're hearing me, and that I am partnering. That's something we talked about earlier, partnering with the right people, partnering with the right companies, partnering with the right businesses, that it can be beneficial for both of us. So, again, for you guys that have not updated your headshots personal branding for the year, make sure you call me. I will also be doing a webinar coming up on this Tuesday, which is March the 15th, 2024. So if you have not signed up for my free webinar, make sure you do. I'll come back and post the link at the bottom of the comments after this podcast. But we will be talking about the power of first impressions. So again, we're going to be breaking down personal branding, what it means, why you need to have everything branded properly, why you need to show up as your authentic, amazing self at first impression, because you only get one chance to make a first impression. So make sure it's good. And for those of you that are in the Dallas, Texas area, I will be there next week. So if you want to elevate your brand, make sure you reach out to me. I would love to have you as a client. And also, the 40 over 40 is in progress. Sorry. I am looking for 40 ladies over the age of 40 to come on this amazing photographic experience with me. So if you are a lady over 40, you can bring your mom, your aunt, your sister, your cousin, whoever is over 39 and a half. Send them my way. You guys make sure you go ahead and sign up for the 40 over 40. It's going to be amazing. So if you haven't heard of the 40 over 40 and Empower campaign, this is my campaign. We'll be photographing 40 women over the age of 40. You will get a luxurious photography session, professional hair and makeup, 2 gala tickets, so that we can come back and honor all the ladies at the end of the event. And you'll be able to bring your best girlfriend. So we're going to have a good time. We're going to have beautiful photos. You will be honored, and it's going to be just amazing. So if you haven't signed up for that, make sure you sign up. I will also be doing some pop-up tours in the for the remainder of the year, because I'm getting back to this travel thing. So if you want to know more about my travel dates, make sure you check in with me. You can send me a text. You can send me a DM on any of the platforms at Angelia Mabra Photography. And I am so grateful that you guys stuck around with me to the end of this podcast. I'm going to open the floor for question and answers. If you have questions, make sure you pop them in the chat at the end, and we'll discuss them in the comments, because I'm pretty sure some of the questions that you guys may have, somebody else may want to know that question as well. So go ahead and put your questions at the bottom, and I look forward to reading all of your responses, your replies. And thank you again so much for sticking around. We'll go ahead and summarize all the key takeaways for today. Remember the value of webinars, how it helps with educational value, direct engagement, and an opportunity to showcase your expertise. We also talked about the anatomy of an effective webinar, where content is king, engagement over presentation, and make sure you're only operating in technical excellence. Excuse me. We also talked about using webinars for lead generation, your strategic approach, how to identify your audience, how promotion is key, and making sure you're following up with your audience to ensure that you're giving them everything that they want. thank you again for joining me. Make sure you follow, like, and share my podcast. And also make sure you come see me on social media, on the other social media platforms. I am Angelia Malbrew Photography on Facebook, Angelia Malbrew Photography on Instagram, Angelia Malbrew Photo on TikTok for now. Hopefully, we get to keep TikTok around. And I am Angelia Malbrew Photography on YouTube and Pinterest. So, thank you guys again for listening. I look forward to seeing you in the comments, and I definitely look forward to seeing you in front of my camera. May God bless you. May the Lord keep you. May his countenance shine upon you. And may the Lord watch between me and thee while we're absent from another. I love you guys. Thank you so much for joining me. Have a fantastic day and an even better weekend. Love y'all. Bye.